to progress with you guys.
Absolutely.
In 2018. It's going to be beautiful.
It's gonna be beautiful.
Yeah.
Speaking of beauty, you are a model.
Yes, I am.
You walk the catwalks and ting on ting.
A little bit of things.
A little bit of ting. So talk about that briefly. Like, how did you get into modeling? Because you're in the hot spot if you didn't know.
I mean, people always ask me, and it kind of always floated around me, but I just always ignored it. Like, no, I don't want to. Just judging a book by its cover, basically. Then I got to my third year in college, and I was just not fed up, but fed up. You know, like, dang, like, I need a hobby. I need something. I felt like everyone had something, whether it was skateboarding or photography. And someone had reached out to me looking to do a photo shoot, so I decided, hey, why not? And then, you know, it started as like what we call test shoot. And then after that, it continued because I felt comfortable. I kept doing it. And then other doors just opened for me. You know, once people saw that I was doing it, they wanted to bring me in.
Nice.
Yeah. And then a photographer, before I was signed, he you know, his dream is to kind of be a scout. So he was sending my images around to a couple agencies, and State they were MSA at the time, but they liked me and they caught me.
Picked you up.
Yeah.
That's what's up. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I know you're gonna do dope with it. I know you actually have a campaign already, right?
Yeah. So my current running campaign is Burt's Bees.
Nice.
They have like a new makeup line.
Did you bring any chapstick for me?
I got you next time. I actually just shot with Clark's Botanical and some chapstick from them.
Okay.
So shout out to them. Today was beautiful.
Good looks, good looks, good looks. Well, once again, welcome to the show. I know we're gonna be doing big things. Tati, how was your week so far? You good?
Week is going, man. We had a snowstorm.
But you got your hair did.
Got my hair did because guess what? Next week we having Tati's birthday show. So make sure to stay tuned. Pisces in the building.
Oh, brother.
We representing.
Oh, brother.
So y'all better make sure to tune in.
Aries gang.
All right.
We gonna be lit.
Gang, gang, gang. Well, it is your birthday is coming up, and it's also Women's Month.
Yes.
So shout out to all the women.
All the women.
A special shout out to my moms, yo.
My
I know you're watching.
My grandma.
You know, these women without y'all, I don't know what we'll do.
Exactly. Remember that.
We appreciate it.
How would you get here?
Remember that.
I'll take the train.
Q is really going to be ganged up on moving forward.
Pretty
he got
much.
two women in the building.
I feel it already,
So.
but I think I could defend myself.
Okay.
So it's all good. But yeah, shout out to all the women in the world, you know, doing your thing, whether if you have kids, you're single, married, and you just grinding, you're working. And this is the era of the age where, women are on it.
Absolutely.
On it. Thanks to Harvey Weinstein. every woman is just out there.
Thanks to him? Are you serious?
Well, I mean, not in that term, but ever since
like
then, a lot
he's
of
bringing
women.
us together more, maybe, because
pretty much.
I was kind of gonna say that too. Like, shout out to all the women, and like, it don't matter your skin tone, you yellow, you have Metallica, what is that thing called? You know, whatever you have, you tall, short, kids, no kids, like, it's about us this month, this day. So let all that other stuff go.
Absolutely. I totally agree. Totally agree. So making a change. This is all about women making a change, moving forward, doing things differently, and respecting each other. I love to see women who would respect another woman, because there's so much jealousy, there's so much hate. I could be on the train and see one woman look at another girl, and she'll look at her with disgust, pretty much. Look her up and down, trying to depict her, whether for her shoes is a label or whatnot. Yeah. But we got to change that.
That's true, but I also think that women are each other's biggest fans, though.
Sometimes.
Like, because when you really think about it, like, when us as women, like, when we get our hair done, our nails done, we're not doing it for y'all. We doing it for another woman, And, and like, we do it for, because men don't really care, It's the women. Like you said, like, in the same vein that they pick each other apart and look for, what shoes they wearing or whatever, but they also do it as, it's a girl code kind of thing.
I don't like that though.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't feel like it's a positive girl code.
I don't like. I mean, I want you to get dressed and look fly and do it for me, because I'm gonna definitely tell you, baby, you look good.
Okay, but not every guy's like that.
Yeah, and that's
not every guy
is
like that.
During Men's Month, I'm sorry, during Men's Month.
And when is that? Every other month of the year?
Pretty much.
Okay.
But
we only get 1 month, like Black History Month? That's crazy. Okay.
Moving right along, we have a great show for you guys tonight. We got two great artists, singer-songwriter Zaxai and I'm probably messing up his name.
A Natural's in the
And
building. I'm gonna help you
singer-songwriter
out,
A
Q.
Natural. He's
He's
in the
in the
building doing his
building.
thing. We're gonna chop it on with them in a little bit. Will they or won't they? So we heard Beyonce and Jay-Z is about to go on tour together.
Allegedly.
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 She's going though.
Right.
She going. No matter how much the
Wherever
tickets
she
cost,
goes,
she
right.
is
Allegedly.
She's going.
Well, apparently they put out, it was on Ticketmaster, someone
Yeah.
released it and then like they snatched it off the internet ASAP.
Yeah.
So somebody must have leaked it.
Somebody leaked it. Oh, I mean, well, it was also on Beyonce's Facebook page. So I believe probably they wasn't ready. They said, all right, we're going to do this in 2019 or something. But
So crazy.
yeah. But
Well,
my thing is, does this avoid any one of them cheating?
How do you
why
mean?
is that a question?
Because they with each other. You know, if B is on tour.
Oh, because tour like
Listen.
you think they still? You think Jay's still doing that? I'm not putting it past
I
him.
don't think Jay's still doing it, but I don't
Dang,
believe
still?
Beyonce is trusted him 100%.
Wait, trust him?
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't. Are you serious?
You wouldn't what?
I wouldn't trust him 100%. Are you serious?
But you would still be with him. So
No. See, that's where I
difference.
don't agree with Queen B. I
Okay.
would have walked away.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
What about you?
Yeah, I don't play that. Like when I first heard Lemonade, well, I watched the visual 1st and I was really trying to listen to the words, and I was just like, yo. When I got to the song and she's like, oh, but we whatever. When she's like, oh, we made up. I said, you just went through all that just to tell me you got backland? I was livid for months because I felt like it was sending the wrong message too. And let me be fair, if you choose to take him or her back after they cheat on you, whatever the case may be, that's totally your decision. But I just felt like it was sending the wrong message because, she is an idol and she is, not a lot of people think for themselves. But also someone said to me, Beyonce's image and like her idea of feminism is standing next to a man. And that's how some women are. Like my idea is not that way at all.
She feels completed.
Yeah, in a way.
But then what about her just trying to work out her relationship and stick with her dude?
But this is the thing. I think the line that embodied that whole project for me was All Night, right? Where she said her torture became her remedy. Like that's deep. Like to say something like that.
To get to that point though.
And where you're gonna take all of the heartbreak that you dealt with and be like, but he's the remedy to all of this when he's the one that caused it. So
I understand what
I
she
don't
means. He's the remedy because now you've done something.
Yeah.
You did this.
It reminds
and now
me
you have
of
to fix
this
it.
song that she wrote called Poison. And it was on one of her albums, and that was like that's like one of those songs that like personally for me just like speaks to me. She talks about him being poison, but she can't like leave him alone. So this has been like lined through her songs for years, and we just really we just really didn't pick up on it as much until she really just went hard and was like,
no, resentment that gets me every time.
Oh,
That is my
girl.
song, and I know that
Girl.
song was. I don't even if she didn't write it, like they put that song in her tour and in her, her lineup during that time because that was probably something she was going through. Like that song is real.
I went to that concert, and when she performed Resentment, like you could see it all in her face. Like they weren't like it was On the Run tour. That was the On the Run tour, and they weren't even really compatible. Like it was just like they were just doing it, in my opinion. Like you could just tell it was like a lot of rift,
Yeah.
So it is what it is. More power to them.
Absolutely.
Their top off song is dope.
Is it? I'm tired of Beach sounding like she's trying to rap. I want her to
Listen,
sing.
she
I want her to
said,
sing.
if you want to party with the queen, you're
Gotta
going to
sign
have
that.
to sign a non-disclosure. That's popping. That's lit.
I don't think so. I think
I
it's a
thought
little
it was
too
dope.
much.
It is,
I
right?
thought it was dope.
Yeah.
I
Business-wise,
thought it was
definitely.
dope.
Exactly. And people want to talk your business.
Well, and then
So if she's
allegedly,
slapping Jay, she don't want nobody to
she
know
said
that, right?
allegedly she said Tiffany. Like it was like
She
the
did
little
not say
ad lib,
Tiffany.
and I didn't hear it personally.
Exactly.
But yeah.
All right.
Also, just one quick thought. I was having a discussion with my friend. It was about Beyonce and Jay-Z. And, sometimes, most of the time, like, marriage does become like a business, so to speak.
Absolutely.
And then, in Beyonce's and Jay-Z's world, I'm still not condoning it, but I can understand how it's not as easy as let me pick up my stuff. At least, maybe not for women like her. For women like me, I'm good. I gotta go peace. Especially if I'm already like a Beyonce type person. I don't need you. Like, I'll see you later. Like, but I'm just saying, marriage becomes like a business. You're invested and you're a thing. Like, a lot of people know celebrity couples are a thing, and like the people on the team are telling the face in their best interest for the likes of society.
And then I feel like a lot of the relationships in the industry are set up on purpose. Just for the women that have kids. That's pretty much business. Like you said, most have some kids. They don't really like each other, but I think most relationships that do happen, they last for like 4 or 5 years. And then next year you get the
Or 20, like Keisha Campbell and Blake Martin, who are allegedly getting a divorce. So it all depends. I mean, I've heard several times people be like, well, if Beyonce not with Jay-Z, who else do you see her with? You know, like, it's like, who else would, you know?
should take some Wendy Williams advice and get
Billionaires. How many billionaires turn out in the spotlight?
But because
Look at Rihanna, look at Eve.
because of Beyonce, she loves that family thing. She loves the black culture. She would want to be with someone that's black. So that would be her. So that would be somebody else in this business. I think that would lead us to that. Shout out to B. When it happened. Riri, she had me on with
Shout out to our Pisces, okay? Because she out here doing it. She has a great Pisces, but she, you know, still Pisces. Yeah, don't say.
I just woke up and she said,
You like her, okay?
but I'm looking to our thrift shops, and I know you guys love fashion and so forth, but thrift shops is trending right now.
Been for years. Right now.
Well, at least for me.
It's like, now it's like a new thing. Oh, like, so still walking around. Too late. But, because the hipsters or what do you call those kids in New York? All that run do. Like, those kids. Those hipsters, they took the thrift store clothes and they started wearing them. And then that made other people be like, oh, now the throwback stuff is cool. It's being cool. It's being cool, you know what I mean?
But I also think with thrift stores, they come and go. Because I remember being in college, and that was the thing to do, you know. And then, you know, it fades out, and there's still people that, you know, religiously do it. But then it's like it goes in waves. Like it's the thing to do, and then it fades out a little bit, and then it's the thing to do again.
I also find that they're making, besides just making clothes that look like they can be made for a thrift shop.
I mean, my favorite places, yeah, they're line. One of their lines is actually thrifted clothing that they resell for money. But some of my favorite pieces I get from the thrift store. It looks fly.
Buy some good birthday from
It sure is fly. That's fine.
don't smell like cigarettes.
Oh, and that's all you watch it, cute. Come on.
When we watch it too and rub it. I got you. Listen, I don't want you to get too far. There's artists in the building. Zaxai
He always listen to
Oh, we
somebody's name.
know somebody's name. I call
You
him.
want to go to a commercial break?
Yeah, baby. Welcome back to Nocturnal Vibes. It's your boy Q Christopher in the building, Harlem World. Anayas and Tati Dani, my co-host, and Zakai.
Yes,
He's
sir.
in the building.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Singer
Yes, sir.
songwriter. Just came from Haiti.
Literally.
You running for president over there?
I mean, if God sees fit, why not?
I hear
Never
that,
mind.
brother. I hear that, man. I hear that. Welcome to the show once again. So, tell us a little bit about yourself. You were born and raised where?
Born and raised from Brooklyn.
Brooklyn.
Clearly.
Which
descendants- East Flatbush.
I was about to say East Flatbush.
East
My
Flatbush.
father's Panamanian.
He's Panamanian.
They lived in Panama since he was well. Like he's the youngest, and then they moved when he was 11.
Oh,
So
word.
that's how all
Actually,
the Caribbean people.
my uncle moved
What,
to
East
Panama.
Flatbush?
So now he's in East Flatbush.
Now he's in the Bronx.
Oh, now he's in the Bronx.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, damn, that's the leap. Jeez. Jeez.
Exactly. Brooklyn is where it's at.
Okay.
Just
what
wanted
I'm
to
saying.
reiterate.
That's all
Jersey.
I said Jersey. That's even more of a troop. Jesus Christ, that path train is no joke.
It's not that bad.
But listen, so your music, when did you start singing?
I started singing at the age of 12,
Okay.
but I didn't even know I could sing at the age of 12. It was my mom that kind of told me, like, yo, you
You got
sound
some
kind of
vocals.
good. And I'm like, do I?
Uh-huh.
And then from there, I went into church, and then from church, I kind of just
Okay.
said, you know what, I want to do this more professionally. And then from there, just ever since then, it is what it is. For
It
me.
is what it is. Clearly, you play an instrument. So
I do.
this is a guitar. If you don't know what it is, it's a guitar, ladies and gentlemen.
Zaxai.
Mhm.
And is that your stage name, or is that your where did you get that from?
Okay, so Zakai is definitely my artist name.
Okay.
I got that. It's like a mixed story. I'm like a bit of a nerd, kind of like I love Dragon Ball Z, and so I kind of flipped it with Dragon Ball Z Kai. And at the same time, I have a mentor who right now like tours with Justin Timberlake, and she, when I was younger, she told me you need an artist name, and I was like, I don't need no artist name. Like, I'm gonna be me, you know. And the more I kind of got into music, I was like, you know what? I need to separate myself from the music and kind of like let who Zakai is kind of be free, whatever it may be. So that's where that came from.
Nice.
Nice.
Cool.
You have a mistress.
Do I have a mistress?
You have one.
Do I have a mistress? No.
It says you have a mistress.
Oh, music. Oh, heck yeah.
Wow.
Just put it out there.
I was
He's
like,
bro,
oh,
what are you doing to me?
You trying to get him
me
in trouble?
on
Bro.
the radio.
But yeah, music is your mistress. I can understand that because music does a lot, especially for me. This is one of the reasons why I started, radio and listening to R&B was just the ultimate for me. But explain why music is your mistress.
Man, honestly, because she comes in so many different forms, so many different shapes, so many different ways, and at the same time, literally takes hold of me. Like, you know what I mean? So, if I'm down, if I'm up, and then I say mistress because my life is my family. That's
Right.
number one first. Like, I'll never separate. I'll never put anything before my family, before anything of that. You know. But at the same time, music is also very important to me, and that comes second, to some degree. It's definitely first in other ways. But then out of that, like if it's not for my family, it's not for my ride or die, my friends that make me feel good. It's music, all the way, literally, all type of genres, all type of whatever it may be, whatever I'm in the mood for.
Nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
man.
So, do you classify in a particular genre? I know we ask this question all the time. Artists talk about, I don't want to be put in a box, but if you had to, what would you say in terms of the genre that you
I guess I'm one of those cats that say that.
Okay.
But no, but I guess for the sake of singer-songwriter, pop, R&B a little bit.
do? Okay.
Because even like with songs that like that are out now, it's those are like super pop, but I kind of add a little bit of two-step old school funk to it, a little bit of mix of my culture, and but then the music that's gonna be released soon, which is like my babies, are like my ballads, singer-songwriter, R&B, all the way,
Okay.
but it's still kind of singer-songwriter with like instrumentation and so on and so forth.
So you're a writer. So when it comes to writing, do you have to be in a specific place, or are you able to just, go for it wherever?
Actually, it depends. Reason being is because like I'll write a song as fast as like say like 10 minutes, but then I can also take as long as 3 months. So kind of I have to be in the zone. For example, like the songs that are gonna come out next month are songs over the course of years. Like I went through like a crazy breakup, and I just said, you know what? And I kind of like played the villain a little bit. And I said, you know what? I'm going to take this time and I'm going to really cultivate this music and kind of write everything out. And so everything on the project is like to the detail, as opposed to like say the pop stuff, which was kind of like, all right, cool, let's have fun. It was my boy Finestro, shout out to him one time, who collaborated with me on that. And I just said, okay, I'm just going to put that out, do it for the culture one time and have fun with it.
Nice. I was going through your social media feed, especially on IG, and I noticed you do a lot with children.
I do.
Talk about that.
So right now, I just came back from Haiti, and there's an orphanage out there. Shout out to Hello. I'm shouting mad people out. Jesus Christ. There's an orphanage out there in Lake Kai, and so what happens with that is they teach the kids vocational training, and they're taking kids who are affected by the earthquake, even before the earthquake, who've just been abandoned or anything of that nature. I'm not a partner with them at all, in no shape, way, or form, but I've been affiliated with them for a certain amount of years. So recently, I said I wanted to give back to Haiti this year. So I went over there to potentially sponsor a child, and I did that, and I'm kind of excited. And I wanted to meet him, and so his name is Dimi. He's out there in Lake High, and so I'm his official kind of big brother, sponsored brother.
Nice.
That's beautiful. That's really beautiful.
It's a good look. Explain to the world how important it is to give back, to do for others.
Especially the babies.
Especially the
babies.
I mean, he's probably not a baby, but especially the young ones.
Oh, for
especially
sure.
Them.
Well, the young ones, for me, kids is like I love kids. Like I lose all chill. Like I pride myself in being like the new spoon, kind of like this grown and sexy kind of date night kind of situation. But at the same time, you let a bunch of kids come in front, like that goes out the window. I'm like, oh, come here, little one, was good. Like Billy Rock one time with him. It's important because number one, they're the future, especially black kids, especially heavy. And like I said, it's all kids, period. I don't get me wrong. But my, like, specifically black kids, you know, they need idols to kind of look up to. The heroes, especially Black Panther just came out, you know. So, like, I want to be that leader or that idol, you know, or that inspiration. So it's important because number one, they're the future. That's number one. Number two, what was the second question? I apologize. The second question. You said it was kids and or just
You said why is it important to give back? And I was like,
give back.
babies,
Yes.
yeah.
Well, it's important to give back because honestly, we live in a selfish world. We live in a world where kind of everybody's kind of take, and we always talk about like when something happens, we're always like, you know what, you know, we got to do this, we got to do that. So I'm like,
it's only for a period.
Yeah, it's only for a period. So like, why not start with one? I'm a firm believer in power of one. Like everything's one. Like if it starts with you, it starts with me, it starts with everybody. So why not be that starting flame? You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Yep. Dope.
So we talk a lot about self-care here. It's important. Aside from music, because I'm pretty sure your music is pretty much, you know, your escape from the real world. What is it that you've done for yourself lately, whether it be, you know, working out, or what is it that you do for Zaki?
Eat. No, definitely work out, like for sure. I actually used to be massive, like it was bad, you know what I mean? And don't get me wrong, like I still loved myself. Well, I would say love who Alberto was or Zakai, but at the same time, it was from a negative place, it was from a negative state, even like I said, it always goes back to the music, but in that time, I had gained like 85 pounds.
I was gonna say so it wasn't muscle. You're saying it was like it was like fat.
I was about to hit 300 pounds, and it was like bad, all the depression. Like I didn't go, like I went to work, went home, work. That's it, you know. And so like from that time, I kind of just did work out, hit the gym, you know, and just kind of transform who I am as a person. Even Zakai, the artist and the brand, kind of switched in that time frame too, because I honestly almost gave up, and I wouldn't even be here saying with you guys right now.
Yeah.
So commend you for that, man.
Thank you, family. Appreciate
Absolutely.
that.
Let's get into some of this music. So, any of your music that you have out right now, are you playing the guitar?
I am not on the one. Actually, no, I'm not.
Do you
Not the
produce?
ones that are out. The ones that are coming out. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Do you
Well, you
produce
can do
any?
it live here.
Huh?
So you can do it live here. So
You know
We're
what?
gonna put you
I
on
don't
the
even
spot
mad at it.
today.
Honestly, everything does work out for a reason. I was just like, nah, I'm on the radio, and I don't know what's going to happen with that. So I was like, you know what's here with me. So
I'm glad you brought it, boss.
Why not?
But do you produce any of your music, or
I do.
you have
I would say co-produce, but I
Yeah.
wouldn't say like through like Logic or anything
yeah, it's
like
not
that.
only you. It's
Nah,
okay.
it's like usually the ideas are either me beatboxing or me and my guitar melody or whatever I kind of hear and what
and
I
then the
want.
engineer comes in.
And then I bring my boy in and we kind of do whatever
Yeah.
it needs to be. And then arranges from there.
Nice.
But everything arranged organically by me.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So, what are you gonna play for us today, boss?
Honestly, whatever's fresh in my head right now.
Go for
Which
it.
is the single actually that's gonna be dropping April 9th. That's Find Me Here.
Okay.
We shot the music video for that. It's done. And I can do like a small snippet for you guys if you don't mind.
Do what it do, bro.
Word. Okay. It's got me nervous on the radio.
Well, Nocturnal vibes is all good, man.
Facts. Okay. 8 hours is keeping us apart. Curse the miles between our spaces. Truth is, without your life is dark. And you're the light my heart's been chasing. If I could roll the tides, I'd move the ocean floor till we see eye to eye. Our lips could touch and then my soul would feel alive. My mind at peace, my flesh at ease, because you're by my side. Find me here. Take that flight, a leap of faith, and join me here. Don't deny what's deep inside. Live here, my dear. There's room enough for two if you would choose to be by my side. 8 hours is keeping you from home. Don't believe the lies he's making. Ooh, right here is where you belong. Me and you getting lost, finding new places. If I could roll the sky and move the ocean floor till we see eye to eye. Our lips get touching and my soul could feel alive. My mind at peace, my flesh at ease, because you're by my side. Find me here. Take that flight, a leap of faith, and join me here. Don't deny what's deep inside. Live here, my dear. There's room enough for two if you would choose to be by my side. Find me here. Take that flight, a leap of faith, and join me here. Don't deny what's deep inside. Live here, my dear. There's room enough for two if you would choose to be by my side.
Very good question. Very good question.
Find music on iTunes, Spotify, you can find me at Zaxai_official. I do what I do. I'm performing that is April 21st. Do have new things coming up soon.
Don't go too far. We still got A Natural in the building.
Say you knock me off of my feet now, baby. As long as I'm there with you, one time, girl. I said, don't walk with me. I told you you gotta get with me. Let's ride. What you gotta do? I'll fly you to the moon. Move with me, groove with me, move with me. 2 steps enough for this loving. Come get the rest of this loving. Move with me, groove with me, groove with me, move with me. 2 steps enough for this loving. Come get the rest of this loving.
Yeah. Welcome back. Welcome back. Still in the building. Your boy Q Christopher, along with Tati, Danny, and Ananias, and introducing A Natural.
What's going on?
brother? Welcome to the show.
Welcome. Thank you. I'm
Welcome.
trying to set up my live. I'm sorry.
It's
It's
all
fine.
good.
Take your time.
All right.
It's,
We'll see if
that,
this
that
stands up.
rhymes. It's fine. Take your time.
Up there was kind of good.
There.
Okay, maybe not. But they know where it's at.
We'll make it happen for you, bro.
There we go.
So,
It's all right. They know where to go.
Number 10.
see what happens on live
It's
TV.
all good. It's all good.
Okay, we alive. We made it.
Yes.
We made it. We made it. Once again, welcome to the show, man.
Thank you very much for having me.
You're absolutely welcome, brother. So talk about your music. Actually, we had an artist, Miss Claudwell, Allie Claudwell.
Yes.
You talked about, doing something with her. Talk about that experience, because she's an amazing singer, so I'm pretty sure you're as good as she is.
Pause real quick, though. I just want to know, where are you from?
I could probably tell both stories at the same time. So I'm actually originally from Plainfield, New Jersey, born and raised, and moved around a lot. But right now I'm in the Newark, Irvington area of Jersey.
Okay.
Jersey?
Do you like it?
Are you serious?
I just want to make sure people just live out in New
Wow,
Jersey for the sake
okay,
of
To
living
be-
there.
to-
I'm from Plainfield. What do you mean?
I mean, to be quite
Jersey
honest with you, like, I have a lot of stories to tell about my life and everything, but I would
in
say
New Jersey.
Jersey right now, I like where I'm at. But I've been a lot of different places, so I do like where I am right now.
Do you like Brooklyn?
Brooklyn is cool.
See.
Brooklyn is different from what it used to be, but
What
it's
is
cool.
your problem? No, he
Just what
trying
people
to
understand.
get some camaraderie up in
Just
here.
trying to be- people
You had
understand.
Zaki. He held it down.
See, you
Y'all
messed
gonna
up
keep
his
messing
name.
up his name, Zakai.
Zakai, see?
There we go. Shout out to Zakai. It's a dope artist, y'all.
Anyway, go ahead.
But no, I've been doing music for as long as I can remember. Worked with a lot of different artists, like you mentioned, Ali Caldwell. Most recently, I worked with Mac Wilds. You guys know who that is,
course,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, he put out his
True
album.
story? Is it True Story or?
No, actually, the After Hours album that
After
came
Hours,
out last year. I vocal produced the entire album.
Wow.
Cool. I like a couple songs on there.
That's what's up. Did some writing with him or whatever, and then actually my first press tour was with him too.
Wait,
to
is this
promote
the
the
same
album.
album where he sampled a lot of the old school? Or this
No,
album
this
after
is
that?
this is a lot more new school, like
Okay,
trap soul
okay.
that he did.
Okay.
But yeah, we did a press tour together. I played keys for him on the press tour. That was really exciting because I've never done that before.
Nice.
Got a different side of the industry that I was really happy to experience. So,
It's a beautiful thing, man.
yeah.
So when did you start singing?
Oh my God.
You just woke up and started harmonizing.
Well, what's crazy is my parents they met at church and they were in a band together.
Why is it always in
I was
church?
just gonna say that.
Always
That's
in
all the
church.
singers and like.
Yeah.
they
I
all
mean,
met in
God is
church.
real. So is music. So.
Amen.
God is
Amen.
real. God is
But
real.
no, my mom, she started off doing gospel, and my father was her producer. They used to write songs all the time, and then she transitioned into jazz. But I grew up listening to her, listening to jazz, and grew up to my father listening to old school R&B like Mandrill and Earth, Wind and Fire. So I kind of got the best of both worlds. So our house was full of music, So I kind of couldn't not sing,
Yeah.
if that makes sense. Yeah.
What kind of artist would you consider yourself?
I consider myself an R&B artist, but one of the things that I'm really happy about is growing up in the home that I did. My parents they exposed us to pretty much every single genre of music, and I grew up listening to everything. So if you look at my Apple Music playlist, you'll see Bjork, you'll see Brandy, you'll see Kim Burrell, you'll see anything really.
Do you know who Andre
rock
Day
music.
is?
Yeah,
Love her voice.
yeah, she's amazing.
Actually, yeah, she is really dope.
Yeah.
The state of R&B. Speak on it. Like it's here, it's not there, it's in the middle. How do you feel about the state of R&B?
To be quite honest, I feel like we're at the very start of like a black renaissance when it comes to R&B. I feel like we went through a period of not knowing who we were and trying to figure that out. And I think now that no shade, now that we had a black president and then now that we lost our black president, it kind of boosted up our confidence in ourselves recently. So I think a lot of artists are going back to their roots when it comes to R&B and really trying to be as creative as they can. So I think you're going to see a lot more people, you're going to see a lot more of people going back to true R&B.
Now it's pretty hard because R&B is just not on the radios as much, or if it is, it's just maybe like four or five songs that they have in heavy
But
rotation.
R&B is not the same
Yeah.
at all.
It depends on who's producing, who's putting out the music.
Yeah.
Now, what do you think of like we talk a lot about, the R&B artists that we're used to growing up on, right? Like, like the music
90s.
Soul Childs, and you know what I'm
They don't
saying.
make music like
And
that.
but what I'm saying is they're coming out with new albums.
Mhm.
Excuse me, and it's not the same, 90s R&B that we're used to. Like,
Well,
speak.
I'm a believer that, you know, in order to move forward, you have to look back,
Okay.
and I think that we have looked back, but we have to keep also moving forward. And so when it comes to the older artists that are making new music, you know, I don't think they really lose themselves. I'm a big Music Soul
Just
Child
trying to
fan.
keep up with the times.
Yeah, they're either trying to keep up or they're trying to make sure that they can still feed their families. You know,
Right.
So
and
did you like his most recent album? I
Yes.
couldn't get through it.
the double album that just came out?
Yeah,
Who's it?
Oh, I loved it.
I couldn't
I
get
loved
through
it.
it.
Music Soul
Music
Child.
Soul
Oh, Music Soul,
Child.
okay.
Yeah.
And then you have like Jagged Edge and all of these different, old school R&B, groups and artists who aren't, I find it hard to get through their albums.
You know, it's times have changed. You know, and like she said, R&B is not the same as it used to be. But I think these artists that we're talking about, like the older artists, there's always a place for them.
True.
You know, my best friend, Lenny Harold, he was previously in Blackstreet as one of the performing members. And we would go to his shows, and the crowds are still there for them.
Still love
You know,
it, yeah.
they still love those shows. I just
Look at
went to
Escape
one.
Tour.
Exactly. I just went to a show at King's Theater a few months ago, and it was Blackstreet. It was Total. It was Selena
That's
Johnson. It
I'm
was
sure that was dope.
RL, and the crowd was with them every single step. So as long as there's an audience, I think R&B is still going to be alive. You know.
I don't think that R&B's dying. I think that the R&B artists and the things that are classified as R&B now is not the same and doesn't compare by any means to Music Soul Child and Jagged Edge. And also Escape and Jagged Edge and Music Soul Child, when they go on tour, majority of their lineup, people are coming to see those old school hits.
Yeah, you don't want to hear no
Yeah,
new stuff.
I don't really want to talk about, if music. I think Music Soul Child and Jagged Edge are probably still great vocalists, and God bless them and their lives and their families. But their old school hits is where it's at, and that's what will always have a place with people, especially because music is the way it is now. That's how I
Even
feel.
think about some of the old tracks. Artists like Donny Hathaway and some of his tracks. They still resonate today. So
Yeah, cannot
I totally
find
get it.
But then you have some exceptions like Tank, because Tank had the #1 R&B
When we-
record. Exactly.
You look like
And-
him a little bit.
I get that sometimes.
Maybe a little orange in you. Yeah.
You know, Tank, I don't consider him old school, but I consider him part of that crop of
Yeah.
like, late 90s, early 2000s, like coming up, that really paved the way. And if he can get a #1 album in 2017, then
So
know,
now
anybody can do
that's
it.
what I want to understand. #1 album under the R&B. Isn't that just like a given? You're automatically going to get #1, the one slot.
nah, because people don't buy records like they used to.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it's all about like numbers now. It's numbers. Well, I don't know if it was
Streaming.
before, but
Streaming.
numbers people don't buy. So a lot of the all the plaques and stuff that these artists are getting is based on the streams and downloads. Like those is what every client, every person in the industry is looking at, your numbers and your streams.
Nice.
Now your music, would you put it more on the lines of like that classic, timeless R&B?
I would say that I have songs that can be that, and I
Okay.
also have songs that are still relevant for today. I'm not gonna lie and say that I'm still young. I'm a little older, but I also know that in order to gain an audience, you have to meet people where they are.
Absolutely.
So I have no problem putting some 808s in the song, but I also have no problem giving you real vocals on top of that 808. And that's what a lot of vocalists are not doing these days. They have the heavy beats and everything like that, but they're not singing. And I'm
they
from
don't
a
have
school
to.
of singers. Exactly.
Yeah.
I want to hear somebody sing.
Yeah.
Vocal arranger, are your vocal coach as well?
So people have been asking me that for a minute. I wish I could find a vocal coach. I'll say that, because I still feel like there's all things that I can learn as well. I'm the kind of person where I don't want to just give the answers out. I'd rather give you the tools, so I can always direct people to the right people.
So arrange something for my deep voice. Can you do that? No, I'm joking. No, I
I'm
want
going to say on the
to.
spot.
I want to hear you sing something. Sing something for his voice.
Let's see. What's my favorite song right now? My favorite song is "Focus" from HER.
Okay.
Is that
Oh,
cool?
I love her.
Okay. I'm only gonna sing a little bit because I don't know all the words, but me, can you focus on me? Baby, can you focus on me, yeah. Me, can you focus on me? Baby, can you focus on me? Don't
Okay,
know the
Runs.
words,
Okay, Runs.
but I'll just keep singing and singing this song for you. Stuck on the phone, are you stuck in your zone? And you don't have a clue, but I don't want to give up. Baby, I just want you to get up. Something, something, yeah, yeah. I don't know the words. It's okay.
It's
But
cool because it sounded beautiful.
If I could sing, I would have, but I didn't want to embarrass myself. But I know.
Now, let me ask you, do you write your own songs? You write your
Yes.
own music?
Yes.
Okay, so what kind of mindset do you have to be in to, write? And can you write anywhere or?
I can pretty much write anywhere. I think it depends on who I'm writing for because I don't just write for myself. I write for a lot of other artists as well. My last project, I had a point to prove with the project, so I was in a different space with it. The name of the album was called The Chronicles of an Overambitious Fat Boy. So already the title is a lot, but it contains a lot of things that I was dealing with over the last few years, which is just being in this industry and trying to go for so many different opportunities, but not looking the typical way that, an R&B artist is supposed to look like. But I was like, I can still do the same things that these other singers can do, if not better sometimes. And I wanted to make sure that that ambition was felt, not just by myself, but for anybody else who might look like me and also wants to achieve their dreams as well. So all the songs came from a place of, I can do this too. The songs, they're relationship songs, there's songs about confidence, but it's all coming from a place of, if anybody told you that you can't do it, you can still do that, regardless of what your hangups might be. So that's usually how I write. I always kind of write from a place of trying to either prove a point or make sure that it's relatable to whoever's listening.
Music, I swear I do. I love it, especially R&B. And I was thinking about letting Zaxai and A Natural do a little duet
Go at
together.
it.
Like, why not?
Well, she said go at it. She's trying to start some trouble.
Why not?
I mean,
Duet,
Go
music
at
wise.
Bugging.
Music
Maybe I
wise.
do a little harmonize or something.
okay.
Like,
I mean, I'm down.
you know what song I love? Like, what's it? You know those old, not Jagged Edge. I can't think right
Jodeci.
now. No,
Whoa.
I'm gonna pray for
Who yeah?
you should be on this harmonization.
I'll do the bass.
I'm
Just
brain fried, but
really
something like
quickly,
that.
because I did read your bio and where you started. So I just want you to just tell the world about a little bit of why you started doing what you're doing and your mentor and how he contributed to your.
Yeah, I mean,
your
I
craft.
like I mentioned before, I've been writing and producing for artists for a very long time, and one of my close friends who's no longer with us, his name is Jers. He was a songwriter and a vocal arranger, and I pretty much feel like he taught me everything that I know as a vocal arranger. And one of the things that he taught me was, in the business, there's a certain way to write and there's a certain way to arrange to make sure that people buy the record. And he always knew what those formulas were to arrange the harmonies and arrange the vocals so that people would listen and not feel like they can't sing along, but that they actually will hear some really great stuff, but also be able to sing along with it. So I've kind of put that into everything that I do for the artists that I work with. Like I mentioned before, Lenny Harold is one of my really good friends. He's won the Apollo 4 times in a row. He's sung all over the world. I produced his last album that came out called Mountain High, and he's got a new project that's about to come out. The first single's called Lover that I did not produce, but he actually learned a lot from what I was teaching him on the last album and put it into the new project. Mac Wiles is another one that I worked with. Steve Lavelle, I know you guys have had, I don't know if you've had him here, but I know you guys know of him. Steve Lavelle's another artist that I've worked with very closely. He's got an EP that's soon to come out. And right now, what my main focus is providing platforms for independent artists, because it's not just about myself. So one of the things that I've been doing, started in January, was a blog called The Cypher. And what it is just a way for independent artists to get their shine. because if you look online, there's really not a lot of places for them unless they're like all the way out in Cali or maybe in Atlanta, but there's nothing in this area for our artists.
Is this a R&B cipher? Like literally put the circle of R&B artists together?
Well, that's where the name was inspired from. I don't know if you guys saw the last BET Awards where they did the cipher with Faith and Fantasia and everybody. Like that's where the idea kind of came from, was just like to have that community of artists being able to, you know, represent each other and to have that platform. So people submit their music to me all the time, so I can just put it up there. You know, we'll review it. The team will review it. We'll say, you know, what's really good about it, and even give some constructive criticism. We've been to some shows and, you know, reviewed the shows, and I'm really excited about what's about to happen with that because, like I said, we need the platform. I'm not worried about selling #1 albums. I'm worried about making sure that people's sound gets heard. And there's a lot of independent talent that doesn't get heard, and that's my goal for this year, is to make sure it has a platform.
That's beautiful. Yeah, that's
Commend
really
you for
beautiful.
that, man.
Yeah, that's really beautiful. That's really opposite of what we were talking about earlier, how the general population is very for self and very like, what are you going to do for me?
Right.
I can't break, even, you know, I can't break my back for you. Like, you know what I mean? That's really, it's really beautiful. It's rare that you find somebody with a heart like that.
Definitely. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So listen, where can the world find you?
So you can go to my website. It's anaturalforever.com. So it's anatural4ever.com. All my social media is also anaturalforever. The blog is decipherblog.com.
Okay.
So you can check that out. And yeah, everything, all my music is on iTunes, Apple Music, Tidal, the whole nine.
All that
Get
good
it
stuff.
everywhere.
And just talk about really briefly some upcoming events that you have.
Yes. So next Tuesday, I'm going to be performing for Major Stage at Drum in Soho on the 13th at 9 o'clock. I do have tickets that I am selling. So anyone who's watching right now, or anyone who's watching me on my live or on Nocturnal Vibes, if you send me a picture of you checking out my album or any song that I have right now, but tag Nocturnal Vibes, tag A Natural, you get a free ticket. Nice. Tonight only.
Do the girls gotta be clothed? Do they have to be clothed on the
I mean, I don't know what Instagram allows anymore, but if they want to, if they want to get creative, they're, you know, by all means
really
they can do that.
You might,
just
you might give 2 tickets away.
Yourself in trouble.
I was gonna say, you know, if they really want these tickets, they gotta work for it.
They gotta work for it. Listen, I want to thank you for coming through the studio. It's been a pleasure. One of our first artists, I can't even speak now. The second of our 2 artists to join us on our start of a new home.
Yes.
So shout out to you guys.
Do we have a little bit of time?
Actually, we got like 2 minutes left.
Okay.
And shout out to the listeners. I do apologize. I didn't get to tell you that we actually shortened our show, so we're only about an hour going forward. So yeah.
I just want to get like a quick just a quick combo real quick. Can we just get
a quick music combo?
Yeah, real quick. It's cool.
What would it be?
Oh,
okay.
Awesome.
There we go.
Better. Harmonizing all over the place.
Just gotta figure out what we're singing. You pick the song and I'll just harmonize with you. That would be easier.
I'm kind of bad. You saw my boy band, so what about I feel like every girl hears this. I'll make love to you.
I was gonna say Boyz II Men too.
Yes, there we go.
That's what I'm looking for.
Yes.
And I'll hold you tight, baby, all through the night. I'll make love to you when you want me to, and I will not let go till you tell me to.
One more time.
I'll make love to you when you want me to, and I'll hold you tight, baby, all through the night. I'll make love to you when you want me to, and I will not let go till you tell me to.
Baby, you know I love you.
That was for him for the deep voice.
Yes. Nocturnal Vibes. Yes. That was beautiful. That was really beautiful.
Listen, let's cheers it up for our first show. Shout out to everybody that's tuning in, and shout out to the artists that came through and did their thing.
God bless and
Here's to
success to
Nocturnal
all.
Vibes 2018, Grown and Sexy. Cheers.
Cheers.
What are you doing? Got nothing left to say. Do you just shut down? Do you change your ways? When it's all done, do you just let it waste away? Or do you get back up and find the words to say? Like I'm sorry, yeah. Cause girl, you was right, I was wrong. Can we find a way to move on? Like I'm sorry, yeah. Cause girl, at the end of the day, I know that you're feeling the same. Like you wanna get back, 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 back. Don't you wanna get back, 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 back? Let's get good at rowdy. Just give me that body. I know I've been naughty, but girl, I'm so sorry. Don't you wanna get back? Cause I wanna get back. Yeah, yeah. What do you do when they won't pick up the phone? And do you leave that message? Or do you leave it alone? What do you do when she won't open up the door? And do you break it down? Or do you beg and moan like I'm sorry, yeah? Can't believe that I've been such a fool. Nobody can love me like you, God, I'm sorry, yeah, yeah. I'm promising you better days. Please believe me when I say it, I wanna get back. Yeah, 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 yeah. Still don't wanna get back. Oh, yeah. Let's get good at riding. Just give me that body. I know I've been naughty, but girl, I'm so sorry. Don't you wanna get back? Yeah, cause I wanna get back. Ooh, wanna get back. Oh, said I wanna get back.